Oh, hi.
Hello.
And welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we're always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay, here with a Starbucks cup filled with vitamin water because I'm dehydrated.
Not dehydrated.
Yes, dehydrated. It's been bad in Arizona recently. It's very hot.
Well, I am Lana. You're a resident diva. You know, love to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea. So you know what to do. If you have that tea, send it to me because I love it. And I'm not as dehydrated as Logan here in Alabama, but it is hot. It is very hot. And I'm refusing to turn on my air conditioner right now because I'm trying to save money. So I have water. Very much good hydrated water so I could, stay fabulous like I am. And today we have a special guest, y'all. We have a guest in the house who I'm very excited to have because most of you don't know this. I don't talk about it much because we like to keep our private life private, but I'm married. This is my husband. David Healy is here. And I mean, he's in Missouri right now, but it's okay. That's just how it goes in our life. But we're still very much committed.
Thank you, wifey. I'm glad you invited me on here. I've only gotten to see my wife in person twice, but hopefully that will change soon. Who knows?
I love it.
Oh, and I have an empty water bottle. I already drank it. It's pretty hot here too.
It's been it hit 95 degrees today.
Yeah.
In Arizona.
It was about that here too.
No, I would rather not.
It was hot.
But
we're not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk.
I was going to say, you know what else is hot? The American Song Contest Grand Final.
It is now.
Yeah.
Very that. Can we just talk about it straight out of the way? Just get it over with because we're all excited.
No.
What?
We will not.
Okay, fine.
We will not do it right out of the way. You will not start it off like that. I know where you were going. No. I don't want to do it. I want to talk about it all. I want to get to it all and build it up.
Gotta marinate a bit.
Let it marinate. Don't do that to me. I don't want to do that. Because we have a lot to talk about. Because this show was really good. Not that I expected anything less, because this is the grand finale. Yep. And all of these songs have been through their paces. They all been voted and chosen to be in this position. Yep. And they're all great songs. It's like, do some of them have better radio pop appeal than others? Sure. Mm-hmm. But they're all just good songs. I can sing all of these songs at this point by heart. I know all of these songs. It's so good. It was just a good show. I enjoyed it so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. David, what have you thought of the whole contest overall?
Yeah, so I don't have any experience with Eurovision. Mm-hmm. All I know are the artists that have kind of crossed over to the United States and kind of blown up here. But that made me very curious about this. And I watch shows like The Voice and American Idol. So I'm like, this might be my cup of tea, but I'm not so sure. But yeah, I tried it out. I binged the first 2 episodes right after they aired. And I'm like, dang, this is good. I was really impressed with that first episode. And we can see why. A few people here made it from that first episode, I think. But yeah, I've just been very impressed. Like, a sign of a good song is if I can hear it once or twice and it's stuck in my head. I'm at work walking down the hallway and I'm singing I'm a Flirt in my head because that Florida song was it, and it was robbed.
It was robbed, David. I said the same thing. I love Flirt.
Yeah.
I thought Flirt was such a good song. It was so poppy and so catchy, and it was in my head. I was like, you're a flirt. I just love that song. Logan can tell you, I was like, I am.
Yeah. I don't dislike the song by any means. It's just not one of my favorites.
That's such a good one. It was a good one, yeah. Well, look, I feel like we should talk about Rob songs later because there was some robbed songs, and we'll discuss that. I would love to talk about that.
During the jury announcement of the points, I was like, "Oh, robbed over there, robbed." All of them. Yeah,
let's jump in. Let's start off because this. Okay, first of all, grand finale. I see y'all starting to show off with Michael freaking Bolton.
Michael freaking Bolton.
You gonna start a show off with Michael freaking Bolton? Like, okay. Now, was this Michael Bolton's best performance of the season? No, it was not. But he's Michael freaking Bolton. Like, there is nobody who has a voice like Michael Bolton. The song still is a beautiful song. I still love this song. I will still be singing this song. I felt like last week's performance was way better for me than this week's performance. I just like, it was something about, I think it was the way he just like switched it up because his voice wasn't as tip top at 100% like it used to be. And so he kind of like altered it a little bit just to fit his voice. And it just sounded so good. I wish he would have did some of that today, but he was really much like sticking to what he knows. But he Michael freaking Bolton. You don't need nothing else. It's a great song still.
Yeah, I agree. I grew up listening to Michael Bolton. I think he's kind of underrated at this point. Like, people remember him for his mullet, but they're forgetting like his incredible songs he had. Like, he had hit after hit after hit in the early 90s. And so it was super cool to see him on here. Like you said, this was not his best performance. You could tell like his voice was not 100% tonight, but he still sounded great. Was I rooting for him to win? No, but I'm glad I got to see him again.
Exactly.
Would I have been thoroughly upset had he won? No, I'm going to be honest. No. We kind of talked about this last week as well, Lana and I did, but like there was only one person that I would have been upset had they won out of this grand final selection. We'll talk about him, but
we'll talk about him.
I got a couple of hymns that I would have been upset about.
We know you have a couple of hymns. Anyway, I agree. I definitely think of the three performances, his semifinal performance was the strongest. But it's Michael freaking Bolton. Like, who cares? I liked that they kept the sun with the staging. I liked that they kept the backing singers on the side, the choir in the back. Everything about the staging, everything like that was so well done. Like, it's Michael freaking Bolton.
I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it with that song, with that staging. Like, that staging was beautiful all the way through. So it's like it didn't need to be changed that much. But like I say, it's Michael Bolton. You really can't say nothing bad about Michael Bolton. Like, I agree with you, David. Was I rooting for him to win the whole thing? Probably not. But if he would have won the whole thing, would I have been upset? No, I would agree with Logan. Probably not. I would have been like, okay, America, I see what y'all doing. Michael Bolton.
Yes.
Like,
I feel like I do need to specify that since this is my first time on here, the way I'm judging this is I'm looking for a song that I can hear on pop radio today. If I heard Michael Bolton do this on American Song Contest in 1992, I'd say give it to him. But it's not a modern hit, and that's what I want to hear. So it's a great song, not a modern hit.
Sure.
And see, I think with me and Logan, how we've been, I know for me, I'll speak for me. I think for me, I like judging on songs that just make me feel like, ooh, if you can make me go, oh my God, if you just make me just lose my freaking mind when I hear this song, you doing something to my spirit. Like, I based on how I feel and how my spirit feels when I hear the song. Like, it's songs that came through this contest, and I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a solid song. Not a bad song. If it was on the radio, I wouldn't turn it.
Yeah.
It was just not the song. But then it was songs that really weren't great songs, but it just made me feel good. And I was just like, oh, I really, Sunsets and Sea Turtles. I will say
I was going to say Sunsets and Sea Turtles.
Sunsets and Sea Turtles. Not the greatest song in the world.
Not the best vocal in the world,
but it just made me feel like, yes, I felt good hearing the song. So if it came on my playlist, will I turn it on and be like, ugh, no, I can't stand it? No. It's only one song in this competition that I think I will turn off.
New Boo Goofin', we already do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the litmus test. David, what are your thoughts on New Boo Goofin'?
It is a ridiculous song that is not my style at all.
Sure.
But it's like infectiously catchy. And I did not want to see him come back, especially at the expense of other people. But it's a song that the chorus, like I could sing that over most of the songs in here just because it's such a distinct chorus. New Boot Goofin'. Like everybody knows that melody. But yeah, it's sometimes bad songs get stuck in your head like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, are you a big fan of it?
No, we hate it. We both hate it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm not saying I like it. I don't like it. It's one of my least favorites.
You know what? I'll accept the opinion because I understand. I
mean, I get it because, like you said, a bad song can't get stuck in your head. Mm-hmm. I will not lie that a couple of days ago, I caught myself saying "New Boot Goofin'." New Boot. And I was like, wait, what the heck?
I was like,
no way.
I'm sorry.
So, like, literally was like, what? No.
I will say there's been 3 songs from the whole contest that have kind of been stuck in my head pretty regularly. And it's a wide array of songs. It's DIY has been in my head. Sad Girl from Utah. Because I just love that song.
Okay.
Is that a country song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the third one was honestly Mr. Independent. We'll get there in a second. But
okay,
yeah,
so
those are the 3 that have been like in my head.
You want to know what 3 has been in my loop in my head? Mr. Independent, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of both because, and then it's been Sweet Taboo Song.
I gave you the keys to the kingdom.
Keys to the kingdom. It was just bum. It's just that part for me. It's just I just love
their side note. We still have Michael Bolton on screen, but
I gotta say my 3 too.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry.
Oh, okay, I'll do it now. So yes, number 1 that's in my head all the time is Mr. Independent.
Mm-hmm.
So we've all 3 got that.
Mm-hmm.
And I already said it. Flirt, Florida song. In my head often. And then the third one, which I think might surprise people because not necessarily my kind of music, but I can't remember the name of the song, but it's Rhode Island, Houston.
Oh.
Held on too long.
Held on too long.
Yeah, that song has been in my head a lot.
Okay.
Not mad at that.
Not mad at that at all.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, it's Michael friggin' Bolton. Great way to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Sure. Cool. Yeah.
Great.
We moved to North Dakota. My queen, Chloe Fredericks. Her best performance yet. In my opinion. Everything came together for me. These were the best vocals she's had, in my opinion. Everything was great.
You know, I doubt anybody has thought about this, but I want to hear Kelly Clarkson sing that song. Has anybody thought about that?
No, yeah. I absolutely, from the first time Chloe performed and Kelly was like, I want to cover that. I'm like, please. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I would love that.
Did we not see the intro where Kelly said she already planned on covering that in her next season? So
I saw that. I was like, yes, I cannot wait.
Can I just say, I went through a journey with this song.
Yeah.
I felt like it was not memorable the first week. I was like, I'm not going to remember this song. Then the second week happened, and the second time she performed it, and I was like, oh, okay, Miss Fredericks, I see you, and now I'm hearing you. And then today, it just, like you said, look, it came together for me. Every time I hear this song, every time I see her perform it, it just gets better. And then I'm listening, I'm like, yes, I can't make you love me. And guess what? I don't want them to do it anyway, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm like, you go, girl. Like, this song is a power anthem for women and or anybody who is in love with somebody who don't love them back. If you love somebody that don't love you, this song is the anthem. Like, I can't make you love me, but I want to do it anyway. I'm over you. Bye. You can go. I love this song. I really did love this song. Ugh. It just did it for me. Today, like you said, I think everything came together for her today. And I felt like that with a couple of people. Like, I always felt like it was something wrong with someone part of it. We'll talk about it.
Talk about it.
Like, something happened, like a pitchy problem here in one performance. Then I was like, oh, this is good, but this was not the great. Today, she clicked on all cylinders. Her performance was good. She looked good. Her voice sounded good. The band sounded great. It wasn't too loud with the tracking. It was just a really good, great performance. It came together for her. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, I'll say that Chloe Fredericks, she was a standout for me from the jump. So yeah, I was a fan of her this whole time. If I get to pick my top 10 out of all 56 songs, she definitely would be in it. But even so, I think she's got a lot of tough competition. So was I rooting for her as hard this time, even though she really delivered? No, I wasn't, because I've got other favorites. But I just think she has such a distinct sound to her voice. She kind of reminds me of ZZ Ward. I don't know if you all know her.
Oh,
yeah. When I hear her sing this, I'm like, oh, this could be a ZZ Ward song.
Whoa, you're completely right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, I do think she has had issues in the past. For me, it's that transition of her going to her head voice in the pre-chorus. Sometimes it doesn't sound like a very smooth transition.
Yeah.
But she nailed it tonight.
Nailed it.
So, yeah, she really came on strong, and this is one of the catchiest songs for sure in the competition.
Yeah, I loved it. I can talk about Chloe Fredericks for hours, but we won't. We'll move on because up next is Texas, Mr. Independent himself. I have said this from the jump. This man has been flawless every single time he performed. I don't understand what the jury was looking for. I don't understand what America was looking for, honestly, because I felt like if we were going on consistent and great performances every week, this man should have been in the top 2. This man should have been in the top because he gave everything. Like, he had some of the best staging in this entire competition. He utilized that entire stage almost better than anybody in this competition. Maybe the only person who I felt like could compete with him is Alexa. He and Alexa understood this assignment, and they passed every test with flying colors. Like, I don't understand what America was looking for. I don't understand what the judges or the jury, what they were looking for. But to make this man not be in the top 2 every single week he performed is ludicrous to me because he was so freaking good. There was like flawless performance every single week. There was nothing I could nitpick about his. I think I nitpicked about one thing in his performance the entire season. I didn't like how he kept grabbing the camera and doing this like all the time. But I was like, once is good, twice is maybe is good, is okay, but don't do it a third time. Right? It was just too much. Like, don't do it 3 times. Just maybe once or twice, and that's enough. And he only did it twice from week 2, because week 1 he did like 3 or 4 times. I was like, stop touching the camera. Week 2 he only did it twice, and then this time he only did it twice. So I was like, he learned. But even in that flaw, even in that critique, it was minute. It was a minute critique. I don't care what nobody say. This man is a star. And if he is not on pop radio in the next couple weeks or months or year, it's a shame. It's a shame. If he don't get a record deal out of this from a huge major company who go push him into stardom, it's a shame. It's a shame. And I'm done. I'll stop talking. I'll let y'all talk.
I love it. Yeah. So Grant, I'll just say it. He's been my favorite basically this whole time. He seems like he's right out of a pop music factory. Like everything you could ask for. He's like a little Nick Jonas.
That's what I said. Yeah. That was my comparison first week. Right. First week.
Yeah, he looks like him. He sounds like him. He's got moves like him. So like, I was confused too. Even seeing some of the jury votes come in, some of those regions had him last for the night. And I'm like, how? And even going to his Twitter, he had like 7,000 something Twitter followers. He's almost up to 9,000 tonight.
Yeah.
And then you go to Colorado, they have like 800,000. I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, I just love Mr. Independent. I think it is such a catchy song, and I think his performance is stellar. I loved his little TikTok thing he did, mashing up Miss Independent and Mr. Independent. I could also rant about how great Grant is. There's two people I voted for tonight. He was one of them. Alexa was the other. So yeah, I would have loved to see him in the top two. But hey, he beat Alan Stone in America's vote, so I didn't see that coming.
We'll talk about it because I have those rankings at the very end. It's I was just doing the rankings physically because they didn't have it anywhere that I looked. I mean it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. No, I mean y'all said everything that needed to be said about this performance. It was flawless. It was perfect. Every single thing about it was phenomenal. The way he ended up is kind of, I would say, the most robbed of a higher placement. Right. I think of the people, there are two that I think definitely deserved to be higher in the rankings. And Grant is definitely one of them. He's just, the performance was amazing, as it has been every single time we've seen him. So like, I didn't expect anything else. So with that, we can move to the only state represented between the three of us, Alabama.
Yay! Period.
Really got it together.
Okay. Oh,
go, Lana.
Please let me go. I have to gush about Alabama because although I was not born here, I am living here and I've been here over 20 years, so I am now native Alabama. I have been very nervous about Nico all day because every performance is always one thing that takes him off, one thing that's off about it. Like the first week, Danny was a little off. Her mic was a little up or too loud, and she was just a little off. Then the next time they performed it, Colton was a little off. Like his vocals was a little shaky in the second verse. And I was like, oh no. And I didn't think they would go make it. But tonight, they were perfect. They were in sync. They were together. The voices just meshed well. They always look amazing. They always look amazing. That is one thing I would say about Nico. Every week, they always look amazing. But tonight, they just, vocally, it just clicked. I felt like that with Chloe Fredericks, and I felt like that with Nico. Like it was always something that was a little off with their performances, but tonight I was in awe. I was nervous watching the whole time. Me and Logan was just sitting like, and I was every reaction. I'm like, okay, so good.
Literally.
And once they finished, I just threw my head back and was like, yes, that was the performance that I wanted from Nico. That was the performance that I was like, I knew they had it in them. I don't know what it was the weeks prior, but this was the performance that I was like, this is why Nico was in this finale. And this is why they deserve to be here. Are they going to win? Probably not. But I knew they deserved to be here. And I was so excited. And they showed why they deserve to be. The song itself is just beautiful. It's just a beautiful song. And they sung it so well tonight. I was so happy. I don't care where they were placed. They were great tonight. They were amazing tonight. And I hope they are very happy because they represented this state very well. Kudos to you, Nico. I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to see whatever y'all gonna do next because you're great. You're great.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, my criteria, could this be a hit on radio now? And it can. In fact, I think this song kind of it could work in different decades. Like it stands a test of time because it's a ballad, but it still feels modern.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought they nailed it. And it always kind of gave me like hope in America, seeing how they actually got votes.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you all, but growing up in Kentucky 20 years ago in high school, it was such a taboo thing for a white woman and a black man to. I heard the most despicable things from people in Kentucky. It's one of my best friends. She dated a black guy, and I just heard awful things, awful names they called her. And I'm getting upset now thinking about it, but it was just so heartening seeing that America could support this couple. And I think they're beautiful together.
Yeah.
They got natural chemistry, and they both are great singers. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with how they did tonight.
So I said that Grant Kanoki was one of two that I think deserved a higher placement. Nico is the other group that I think really, really deserved a better placement than what they got, because that performance was just everything I needed to see. And like y'all talked earlier about what you were basing your opinions and your judging on and everything like that. For me, I'm coming into this with the perspective of a Eurovision fan, because I am. And so, first of all, the fact that we finally got something in Arizona, I'm going to say not as good as Eurovision, but it's the first year. And for what it was, I had a great time with it. This performance gave me everything I've ever needed from a performance like on this kind of stage. The subtle changes in their staging with the lighting in the back and the way that they just have done the same thing they've done every single time, but this time it all just clicked together. I was so happy, and they definitely made such an impact on me in just the short period of time that we got to hear them. Also, anyone with a Twitter bio saying that they're fueled by cheap Mexican food is a group that I'm willing to support. So, but yeah, I just absolutely love them. Phenomenal, beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, everything in between.
Okay, and not to mention, since you talk about staging, the camera work for them was sensational. Like I love the Danny forward, Colton backwards, and then they'll switch the camera around and it's the opposite. And then when she walked past him and the camera swooped around, it was just a music video live, and it was so good. Like we talked about, I think can't remember who it was who had the contemporary dancers, and we don't like them dancing in front of
Alexis Cunningham working on a miracle.
Yes, so we were like, I was like, we didn't like the contemporary dancers dancing in front of her. I felt like if they would have took some contemporary dancers and had them dancing off to the side of Nico while the camera work was flowing around them and they're singing, and it would have been even more breathtaking, but they didn't even need it because it was just such a great, simple state. Like, they didn't have any flashy lights and smoke machines and all kind of bells and whistles. It was just them singing and them standing and just looking amazing. And like you said, David, the chemistry between them, you could see it like radiating off of them. Are they going to be a long-lasting couple? I hope so. I'm rooting for Nico. I want them to get married, have lots of babies, and just be fabulously just amazing. But I agree with you, David. I heard some awful, awful things growing up, and about a couple who are interracial, and it gave me this is I said this week one when I said this even before I found out who Alabama was going to send to represent them. I was very, very like very jaded because I'm like, okay, we're getting a bluegrass or a country band, and it's gonna be white people, and or we're gonna get a white girl group, and that's what it's going to be, or some little white cute girl, Southern Belle girl, and I was like, this is what we're going to be. And then when it was announced it was Nico, I was like, oh, and then they were a pop R&B fusion group. I was like, oh, that's shocking. And then they were black and white, and I was like, oh, that's even more shocking. So I went back and checked them out and watched their covers, and I was like, oh no, this ain't the average Alabama that I thought we would go get. And I was very happy. And they just did me so proud this entire competition. I have been very much like gassing up Nico this entire show, and I love them. I'm a fan. I am now officially a Nico.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what they call their fans.
It
was a Nico. Oh, I forgot, but whatever it was. It was something cute. But I'm following. I'm going to be following every piece of their social medias and things from this point on because they're amazing. Yeah, let's
all of that.
I could talk about them too, but we have to go into the next Kentucky. Jordan Smith, winner of The Voice of an angel. We already know there's nothing you can ever say about that man's voice his voice is simply amazing. He won The Voice for a reason. Sparrow is such an uplifting song. It take you to church if you believe in any kind of God or any kind of spirituality or heaven or whatever. It took you there. It's just a good song. It's just a good song, and he's just a great voice. His talent it speaks for itself. Was I rooting for him to win tonight? Not in particular, because like I said, I wanted somebody. I had other people but I just knew he had a really good shot at winning this thing, and deservedly so, because this is a great song. He has a great voice. His performances are always stellar, and he hit that note at the end that make your whole body just shiver. And it's like, oh, I love Jordan Smith. There's no negative thing to say about Jordan Smith besides, no, there's nothing negative to say about Jordan Smith. It's a great song. He's a great person. He got a great voice. That's it.
Yeah. His season of The Voice was one of the last ones I actually watched, and he was just so consistently great. Like there's hardly any matching to his voice. He's by far one of the best singers in this competition. And the song is actually really, really good. So I thought he had a great chance at winning. I wouldn't have been mad if he won. My only drawback is, like I said, I don't hear this on pop radio.
No.
So that was my only kind of issue there. Also, I'm originally from Kentucky, like I said. So I was like, go Kentucky. It was cool hearing him talk about Bowling Green, because I'm like, oh, that's where I went to prom. Bowling Green, Kentucky. But I mean, he's great. He's very consistent. There's not really much to. He's almost like too consistently good that you know what you're gonna get, and I want to be surprised sometimes. So I was never surprised by Jordan, and I mean that's not too much of a bad thing with a voice like that. Yeah. So he's great.
Yeah, I completely agree. Every single time he was on stage, every single thing that he sang was phenomenal. I loved, again, a little bit of subtle changing with the staging from the semifinal to the final. I think the big thing was just more candles, which, like, sure, I'm on board. More candles, great. But no, just like I agree. I remember watching him on The Voice and was like, this is a superstar. And seeing him in the lineup for this at the very start, I was like, he is going to be in the final. I knew that for sure before I even heard the song. Because I just, with the talent that he has, he was going to be in the final. And I'm not mad that he's here. I wouldn't have been mad if he won. He almost did it. We'll talk about it. But just spectacular and wonderful in every possible way.
Yep. Go ahead.
I want to make sure my assumption is not wrong. They are performing songs they wrote, correct?
Yes.
These are all, yeah.
So the fact that he can sing that well and write a song this good, life is not fair. It is not fair. You shouldn't be able to do both of those things so well.
I mean,
I don't think everyone.
No, everybody didn't write their own song.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's some people who did write their own song. I think in this group, I think everybody wrote their own song in this group. No, Riker Lynch did not write that song.
Lynch did not.
Yeah, but I think everybody else did.
The difference was technically written by Colton and like Danny is given.
Danny is given credit. She wrote it. Everybody, I think everybody wrote their own song. Michael Bolton and Jesse Jessup.
Justin Jessup
from Illinois, who was in this competition, wrote Michael Bolton's song.
Oh, weird.
Right, which is crazy. I'm like, that's so weird. But yeah, I think everybody in this group, besides Riker Lynch, is the only one who did not write their song.
I'm running through them really quick just to see. I think, Chloe wrote hers. Alexa did not write hers.
Oh,
that's okay.
That's interesting.
Wait, but could she be under a different name? Is Alexa
very well?
Very well could be.
Alexandra. No. So no, because her name's Alexandra. Not given songwriter credit. So no, Alexa did not either.
That's fine.
But it just had to be an original song.
Right.
It didn't say you had to write it yourself. It just had to be an original song.
Tyler Braden wrote his. Grant Kanoki wrote his.
Well, we know Grant wrote his own. He said he do everything independent. Period.
Right. So I would say probably like 90% of the artists in the contest had some hand in writing the song.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So I agree.
Okay, so we'll move on from.
Lana, you go.
I was about to say, please, y'all don't. This is my favorite song out of this entire competition. I cannot express how much I love this song. This is the song that I have on repeat every day for at least 10 minutes, and I will listen to it every day. I know every word of this song. It is such a groove. It's one of them songs I'm like, I could put this on and start cleaning up my house. I can put this on and want to go on a road trip. I can put this on and just want to lay back and read and just have that in the back. It's just a great song. And then lyric wise, oh my God. If you listen to what he's saying, it's like, what? Did this man just say, it's so good. It's so good. I love this song. I love his voice. I love everything about it. He didn't have to do much as far as staging with these performances because he didn't have to. He just didn't have to. This song didn't call for it, and the fact that it didn't call for it, and it still was amazing, and it still always got high marks. And he just did subtle changes. Like the first week, his group was behind him standing up, and they were already there when he started, and they were singing. Then the second week, he walked from the side, and then they came walking up behind him, and it was all good, and they were singing. And then this time, they sitting down, and they just vibing, and it was so freaking, oh my God. I love this song. I don't care and I said it to Logan before we started watching, I said, he is going to be in trouble tonight because he never had to sweat an audience vote. He was always brought by the jury. And I feel like America is a group of people who we like, oh, the jury like you. I ain't finna vote for you, because that's not what we do. We're not finna go by what you telling us to like, Mr. People who behind the radios and whatever. You not gonna tell us who to like. We go like who we like. And since you voting so and so lower, we go vote for them to win the whole thing, or we go vote for them to be higher than everybody who you put in the jury. So I knew coming in he was gonna have a problem, but I don't care. I don't care if he won this competition. I don't care where he placed in the competition. This song is an amazing song. Could I hear it on the radio? Is it a pop hit song? I think it has its place in a genre place. Like, he'll be great on Black R&B radio. Great. He'll kill on Black R&B radio. That with that voice and that sound, groove. Will he kill on pop radio? Probably not. We won't hear him on iHeartRadio. We won't hear him, doing that. But that's fine. That's fine. It's just a great song. And can't nobody deny that. Can nobody take that away from it. It's just a great song.
Agreed. So first, can I ask, I'm sure you all have discussed this. Were you all familiar with Alan Stone before this competition?
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So I'll start back in 2013. I was listening to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, their first album. Yeah, and they had one song that featured Alan Stone. And I was like, who is this singing on this song?
I remember that vaguely. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I went and listened to his music. I'm like, this guy is so good. So then when I saw that he was on this show, I was like, oh, I don't think people are ready for Alan Stone, because he can sing and he's got soul and it's genuine. So yeah, I was super excited. And I will say, of all the songs on the first listen, this one impacted me the most, especially when that choir came out. Maybe it's a little bit of... Yes, it's such a good song. And I agree with you. Like, it's arguably the best song in the competition.
Yeah.
But I still rank him number 3 overall. And it's because I know iHeartRadio is doing a radio deal with the winner of the competition. Can I hear, maybe it's a little bit of both coming on after Get Into It Yeah by Doja Cat? No, I can't hear that.
Yes, I would love that.
I mean, it would be great. I would love if we could encompass more styles of music that are maybe not geared towards what are they called? Zennials?
Children.
Gen Z.
Children.
But yeah, I just couldn't picture it. So that was my only hesitation in wanting to see Alan Stone win. I love the song. His voice is flawless. And I was prepared. I thought we were going into this. I know you talked about like America's not going to vote for the jury favorite, but I still thought he would have a very good chance at winning. He was the front runner in my mind going into this episode, and I would have been very satisfied with him winning. Yeah. But it still was fun to see. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it was fun to see the results that we got. But yeah, I think he should be incredibly proud. I cannot believe we haven't got into the rankings of America's votes, but I cannot believe what America did to him in the votes. I can't believe it.
I have where he ranks in the public vote. We will talk about it. So it's so interesting because this has been Lana's favorite since we had all 56. And my favorite for the whole time has been North Dakota. And we've both had such completely visceral changes on our opinions to the other person's song this whole time. Because I listened to this the first time and I was like, this is good. This is fine. And upon just listening to it more and more, this song really grew on me. Where, honestly, if I had to give my top 10 right now, I think this would be in my top 10. Oh, I don't know where.
I would hope so.
It would totally be in my top. This would be my number one.
We talked about it. Your number one is Washington.
Here's my number one.
Mine is North Dakota. Mine is North Dakota, and David's is Texas. It's fine. I do still want to do that ranking all 56 video if we have
at some point we'll do that. I definitely think we should do that. And David, you invited too.
Okay, I would totally do that.
Oh my God, of course.
I've already thought about doing that on the Spotify playlist, ranking them all.
That's how I currently am doing my own. Okay. Is literally ranking them. But no, I thought this final performance was just spectacular. It took all of the best elements of what he's done in the past 2 performances and just put it together in such a beautiful way. Everything was great. Mm-hmm. There's not much else to say. He's just phenomenal.
He's so phenomenal. So good. It's just good. I don't even have anything else.
Yeah, you all need to check out his other music too.
I will. I definitely have started. I definitely have started because I feel like it's people who in this competition. I'm like, you know what? They're so good on the show. I have to see their backstory and their back catalog because this is amazing.
Y'all see now why I love Eurovision so much, because this is me every year with Eurovision artists too. I'm like, oh my God. And then I deep dive into someone's catalog and it's just like, I literally bought tickets the other day and I'm going to LA in August to go see a Eurovision artist from last year because he's doing a North American tour. Like, that's just...
Who is it?
Dottie Frere.
I don't know. Wait, yeah, I do.
Yes, I was like, you probably do.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know that's how you pronounced it.
Yeah, it's Dottie Frere.
Okay.
It's just, I feel like these shows bring out some really good talent, and I love seeing new talent. I hate that it has to be just like, oh, they're not pop enough to be on pop radio, so they're not good enough to win a show. But I feel like it's good enough to at least expose everybody else to how talented they are, and they should be able to find their niche somewhere. And I feel like I said, Alan Stone, I think will do amazing on Black R&B radio.
He'll be winning more R&B Grammys in the next couple of years. I know that to be sure.
And it's crazy because like even for Black R&B radio, we got a lot of we got a sprinkle of Blue Eyed Soul that pop up in there every now and again, you know, with Robin Thicke and Justin Timberlake, and it's basis for some Blue Eyed Soul.
Right.
It just has to be the right Blue Eyed Soul that comes in there. And I think Alan Stone has that soul that will just make, because if you notice, like when he performed, if you notice how Snoop gets when he performs and how excited Snoop gets and gets into that groove, that's us. That's what we do. When we get a groove that's just so good, you want to hear it on the radio. And it's just like, okay. I feel like he'll do great on Black R&B radio. Mm-hmm. I feel like
he probably has, to be honest.
And I haven't heard him, but that's just me. But
I want you to look up a song called "Unaware." It's one of his more popular songs. It's so good, and for a while, people were singing it on American Idol all the time. In fact, one of my favorite American Idol winners sang "Unaware" for his audition, Trent Harmon.
Okay.
And he killed that song with his audition. Okay. So, you might know that one.
I'll check it out. But
it doesn't ring any bells immediately, but I'll listen, definitely. Okay. There's a lot of these I'm going through their back catalog. After Eurovision season is over, I'm like, everybody's back catalog is getting some listens from me. So,
so we go from Washington State with giving us some greatness to Miss Tennille, American Samoa, queen of my heart.
Yes, she has my heart.
She has my heart and my soul. She's beautiful. She's gave us a performance that shut it down. Like, coming after Alan Stone, most people would be very scared because he's just that great. And a lot of people have fallen into that trap of coming behind Alan Stone or coming behind Jordan Smith or coming behind these heavy hitters like Alexa, and they just shrink. She did not shrink at all for me tonight. She looked amazing. She sounded amazing. And even when you could tell she was losing her voice, because at the end she was definitely losing her voice a little bit, and so she was like a little got a little raspy and hoarse, but it didn't matter because her performance was amazing. The changes this is what I loved about Tennille. Every week she gives us something new.
Yeah.
Every week she gives us a little bit of something extra to make us go, oh, okay, that didn't happen last week. This time around, it was the fire guy with the fire baton, and then it was the Samoan dancers. The women just looked beautiful, and it just the song has my whole entire spirit on the chokehold. Like, pray for the ones that we got, blessed by the ones that we lost. It's just like, wait, what? And it's just amazing because for me, it's very personal. And it's like, because I've lost people who I love so much. And so I'm blessed by the ones that I've lost. And it's like, you know what? Because they blessed me in a very, very special way. But I'm so thankful for the ones that I still have here with me right now. And so this song just this is one of the songs that I was talking about. It just makes me feel good. For me, it ranks high because it makes me feel good. Every time I hear her sing this song, I get very emotional and like I'm about to cry. I don't want to cry, but it's just like, it's so emotional for me because I'm like, ugh. I feel the fact that she's one of the only territories that was able to represent all the territories here in this competition. And she's a beautiful woman. When this competition lacked women in this final, we only had 2.
In the final?
Well,
good 4.
Including
3.
Nico.
Well,
we did have
3.5.
Well. Chloe,
3.5.
3.5. We had 3.5 women.
4 of the acts feature women. Let's say that.
Sure. But out of a group of 10, you only have 4 women represented in this whole thing. And like I said, she's the only territory. And the song is just, it's just, I honestly didn't think she was going to make it to the final. I was very shocked, but happy in the best way possible that she made it to the finals. Because I thought after last week, I was like, they're not going to let her go. They didn't put her at the bottom of the jury rankings. America's being crazy. I don't know. But she's here and she represented so well tonight. It was beautiful. I don't know. It's just beautiful. The song is beautiful. She was beautiful. She was beautiful.
Let someone else praise her for a minute, Lana. Yeah, no, I agree completely, Tennille. She's in my top 4 of the night. She is my heart pick out of all of them. She's so endearing. She's such a lovely woman. And honestly, like, I think the best decision this show made was opening up the competition to the territories as well, especially knowing like the ugly histories we have with a lot of those territories. So I hope the people of America Samoa feel very validated. I think tonight was a huge win for Asian women who, I don't know if you all remember this, but anytime it used to be on American Idol, anytime there was an Asian contestant who came on, they were a joke contestant. They were made fun of for their accent. William Hung is the one we all know, but it was so consistent in happening season after season after season. So to see 2 different Asian women thriving in the competition tonight, I think that's incredible. I think they're saying we got talent. You all may not have known. You may have made assumptions about us just because of what American Idol did to us for so many years. But yeah, I thought both of them were incredible. I don't want to get ahead and talk about Alexa yet, but Tennille, she was incredible. And it is a great song, and I could see why you're so passionate about it, Lana. So she should be very proud of herself too. Yeah, I love her.
This has been one of my absolute favorites from the moment I heard it. I mean, everything y'all said I completely agree with. I actually just looked at the number of women that competed in the American Song Contest this year. Take a wild guess as to how many acts feature women.
Out of 56?
Out of 56.
I would guess 30?
I'll say 25.
Lana, you're dead on. It's 25.
Okay, wow.
Wow.
And of those 25 acts featuring women, 14 of those acts feature women of color.
Whoa.
14 out of 56. And the fact that we got 3 in the final is phenomenal for me. And the fact that Tanel got to represent the territories in the way that she did is phenomenal. I'm so happy that she was able to show the beauty of the territories as a whole, but specifically American Samoa, because it's necessary, because a lot of people in this country don't understand anything beyond the contiguous 48. For honestly, it's lovely and wonderful.
I mean, let's talk about the territories for a minute. I feel like these territories came and they represented very well. Even like I think all the territory songs were really good. Like, okay, we know Loco was my hit, banger, bop. Love it. That was my song from the jump.
That was, yeah. The only one I didn't love was Celebrando, but even then I wouldn't turn it off.
Right.
Necessarily.
It wasn't
that
horrible.
Was Guam, right?
What?
Guam, yes.
Guam.
No, that was the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, Virgin Islands. Wait, Guam song.
Guam was Jason J. Midnight.
Right. I kind of like to sing.
I like that song a lot.
I kind of like, but see, like I said, all the songs, I really like the songs. Even if, like I said, Sunsets and Sea Turtles wasn't the greatest song, but it just made me feel good. It made me feel like I was on the beach, and it made me feel like I should be laying there with my pina colada. I don't like pina colada, but my strawberry daiquiri.
I'm allergic, so strawberry daiquiri. I don't like pina colada. Strawberry daiquiri it is.
Strawberry daiquiri, and I would sit on the beach and listen to the waves come in. Like, that's what I felt like listening to that song. And I feel like all of them just represented well. And because we don't hear a lot about territories, I felt like this is a great opportunity to educate some people that, just because you're not a part of the 50 something states that we have, don't mean they're not a part of us, and we need to treat them, each territory, like they're a part of the United States of America, which they are. If we're going to claim them as territories, then we need to work with them and treat them so much better than what we treat them. And that's just the government thing. They got to do what they got to do. They got to do their part, because these people they're citizens. They deserve better than that. They deserve, but don't let me get on the soapbox about how they treat everybody in America. But okay,
that's a conversation for another.
That's a conversation we'll have a later time.
I will say the fact that we got 2 territories represented in the semifinals.
Semifinals, yes.
Even though Christian Pagan did not qualify, which I was very upset over.
I know, me too.
But that semifinal was just stacked. But I'm just really, really happy that Tanel was able to represent her culture on this stage. And it's wonderful.
Yes.
And we move to another fabulous woman, Alexa. Point blank and the period.
Yeah. This woman does no wrong. She can't do no wrong. I don't even understand where the heck she came from.
Oklahoma.
She's my neighbor.
That is even more shocking that this beast of a woman, this little half pint of a dynamite stick just came from freaking Oklahoma and K-pop the hell out of all of us. Like, who would have thought Oklahoma was going to give us that? Nobody. But she was flawless from the beginning. Like, her performance had magic week 1 where I was like, oh, who? What? Girl. okay, I see you. And I was hooked from that moment on. And Wonderland is another song that lives rent free in my brain. Like I just hear it and I'm like, come to the cup like it's just a song that just it plays in my head from time to time. And I said it before we got on the air, and I'm gonna say it now. This woman here understood the assignment when it came to this competition. She knew that she had to not only depend on just a great performance and getting the jury to like her, but she knew she had to do something to get America on her side. And baby, did she do it. She got up there, she created her dance. She was like, I'm in the Gen Z group. And how do we Gen Zers do it when we want something to happen? We get on TikTok and we go viral. And that is what she did. She blew this competition away from beginning to the end. There was nobody who was going to come as close to taking this whole thing than Alexa. Like she played this game. Like this was a game. Every competition you're in, this is a game. And she played the game the best from beginning to the end. Like you go on TikTok now, hit Wonderland, and they think, and this song is playing. People are dancing all around the world to Wonderland. And she ain't even won nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't no superstar in America. She might be big in South Korea, but nobody knew her over here. And she is already viral on TikTok, babe. She knew what she was doing. And I say kudos to you, Alexa. You blew everybody away with just a flawless performance. You brought magic. You sent us in Wonderland because we were very much in awe of you from the very beginning. And I felt like her first performance was just so magical. I felt like her second performance lost a little bit of the magic. And then tonight she brought that magic right back. Her beginning with that red screen and the headdress, and it was...
Lana can attest, my jaw was like dropped for about the first minute and a half of her performance.
Visceral reaction to her performance. Like everybody else, I was like, yes, because you just knew what to expect. And it was like, great. Okay, all right, I get it. She just, you think you knew what to expect from Alexa, and she threw us something else to go, oh, okay. This girl here is a starer. She is a star, and if she's a star, she deserves everything that she gets. She is a star, period, point blank.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I will say, when I started that first episode, I was like, I'm going to give this show a chance. Will I be hooked? I'm not so sure. The first performance we got was Minnesota, Yam House.
I'm ready to go.
Wait, do you not like it, Lana? Okay, I like Ready to Go. I like Ready to Go. I would have moved it on, to be honest. I was like, this is good. I could hear this being a Jonas Brother jam.
I did say that.
It almost was the second wild card.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I wish it had been. But
no, because Greenlight deserved.
I like Yam House better. But anyways, the second performance of this whole competition was Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was hooked. I'm like, okay, Yam House had me. This absolutely has me. I'm glued, and I'm rooting for this girl. She told me that it was going to be more than just coming up with like cheesy songs, like coronation songs for American Idol winners.
Mm-hmm.
She gave us a hit. She gave us a performance. She gave us style. And she kept that throughout the whole competition. In fact, she's the person who upped her game and changed things with each performance. Yep. Yeah, she may not have been better in the semifinals than with her first performance, but at least she tried different things. Other people we saw sit there and do the exact same thing. And if I'm going to see your performance 3 times this season, I don't want to feel like I'm watching the exact same performance over again.
Yeah.
but she gave us something new, and I really appreciated that about her. So there were times where actually a few weeks ago I was hanging out with some friends, and they hadn't watched any of American Song Contest. I showed them a few performances, and they were like, okay, interesting. Then I showed them Alexa, and they're like, oh, there's the winner. She should win. Both of them said that. So yeah, everybody I knew was rooting for Alexa. And yeah, I think she is somebody who can really bring a second season for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very pleased with how she did tonight, and I'm blown away by the support she got from America. My worry was, oh, she's popular in South Korea. I'm looking at her Spotify streams. I'm like, okay, she's got over 1 million streams. Is that coming from South Korea? Is that where the support is? So I was just worried that, especially seeing her rankings after the jury votes, I'm like, can we overcome that with America's votes? And I was shocked by how much we did. Yeah. So I'll let you go on, Logan.
I was just gonna say, the one thing I love about this is, honestly, Alexa has had the performances that feel the most Eurovision. I know this isn't trying to be Eurovision, but it's trying to be Eurovision a little bit. And like this is what you see on the Eurovision stage. Like this is the level, this is the caliber of performances that you see on the Eurovision stage, and it's just spectacular. Like everything about this, like my jaw was on the floor for the first like minute and a half at least of this performance. Everything she changed was so dynamic and so good. The pose at the end and then dropping into nowhere. I know.
I was like, she's not going to do it this time.
I was like,
yes!
I'm like, oh my God.
She gave us what she was like. Everybody was like, okay, we're expecting her to just go, hey, then finish and boom. No, she was like, Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, oh, she's not going. Oh, she is going.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. That's the sign of a star. That is the sign of somebody who knows how to perform. You always keep your audience guessing, and she does that every time we sing the song. I hope she's ready. This is what I'm hoping she's ready for, because she's gonna be singing Wonderland for the rest of her life.
Yep.
Every performance she does from this point on, every tour she goes on, every concert she sings, she is going to have to sing Wonderland, because this is the song that introduced her to America, and everybody's fell in love with her. So I hope she's ready, girl. I hope
she doesn't get a concussion from falling so many times.
Right?
Look, she gonna change it up, because maybe one day she go get whipped up instead of like they gonna have a harness put on, and she's like,
can we talk about her descending from the sky on a throne?
Because she's a queen.
I'm sorry.
A queen deserves her throne, and she got it tonight, baby. This woman came and just stole the show from everybody. She does it every week. And she does it every week.
So when she goes on tour, we're all going together, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll find a midpoint between the three of us. It's fine.
We'll make it happen.
We'll grab Audrey, because the midpoint's probably Texas. We'll grab Audrey, be like, you like K-pop, you're gonna love Alexa. Like,
we're just gonna make it happen. Okay. So this is the part here for me that I was like, y'all set this man up. You sent him, the Mr. Jury Vote King, after Alexa and Wonderland, after she gave that performance. Okay. All right. But was I mad that they set him up? No. Because I'm gonna be honest, this has not been my favorite song in this competition at all. And I felt like I said it before. I've heard this song before. This is nothing but Dina Carter, Strawberry Wine. She even said in her song, Strawberry 17, Hot July Moon, Fresh. Like, this song is just like, okay, I've heard this story before. We all been 17 and we do some crazy stuff. We've been in love. We fall out of love. Life is topsy-turvy at 17. Got it. Quit it. this is one man who does nothing different the entire season, and they just praise mediocrity. Like the jury just praised. Does he have a good voice? Sure. Is the song a solid song? Sure. Would you hear it on country radio today? Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Great. Fine. All of that is fine. Did he deserve to win jury votes every week he sang? No way.
There were better country songs in this contest.
Better country songs in this competition. Better. If we just want to go by just having country songs, it was way better country songs in this competition. But in the groups that he was performing in, there were way better songs than his. And it's just like, I don't understand. I did not understand. But he was also somebody else. I was like, this man is in trouble. He ain't never had to face the audience vote. He is jury favorite. And America's going to look at him like...
Oh, we'll talk about it because I'm happy.
I just didn't care for him. I always say the same thing, and this is my same thing every week, and this is the saddest thing. I prefer listening to the instruments behind him than listening to him singing this song. Like his guitar player, you are amazing. Like you killed your part. You come in there, and I'm like, yes! But then the rest of the song, I'm like, So, and that should not be like your instruments behind you should not overshadow you as the performer. And I felt like for this song, it does. Tyler Braden just was a mediocre singer, man, country white man. And they just praised him so much for mediocrity for me that I don't feel like it deserved that much praise and for it to be that great and hyped up so much. But his ranking tonight showed that it wasn't a great song, and I mean, it just was a mediocre song.
We'll talk more about it because I'm happy.
Well, I will say I was not as confident that he was being set up for failure here. I was worried that the last few performances would be the ones that stuck with the voters in their minds, and that those might be the ones that get the most votes. If people are waiting to see all 10 performances and then vote. I did not. I knew who I wanted to vote for, so I voted for them right away. But he is somebody in the very first qualifying round that he was in. I remember watching the performances, and then I would see the rankings, and almost immediately after his performance, I would see Tyler Braden, Tennessee, number 1. And I'm like, wait, what was that song? I don't even remember that song. I was struggling to remember this song because it left zero impression on me. And I'll admit, I'm not really a country music fan. It can be okay sometimes. But like you all said, there were better country songs in this. And it's like, when are we going to talk about this?
Jonah Prio, we're gonna fire.
When are we gonna talk about Fire It Up?
We're gonna fire it up.
Okay, I don't like that one either, to be honest. So.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying it was better than 17.
Yes, it was. It stood out more for sure. I think vocally that was worse, personally. But when are we going to talk about this? On competitive singing shows, people lower their standards for country singers. Nobody wants to have that conversation.
Let's have that conversation. Because you expect R&B singers to run all over the world and run up and down the scales, and you perform pop singers to dance and move and, do flips and stuff on stage. You expect rappers to just give everything. But you say a country singer get up there with that one guitar and they little 10-gallon hat and just stand there and sing a little ballad and they win the whole thing. And you're like, wait, what? Yeah, did you not hear this woman over here sing 8 scales, 8 octaves and run up and down the scale? And did you not see her do a gymnastics flips from a trapeze? And did you not see that man over there playing the piano with his foot? And he's just, did you not see all of that? And giving performances of a lifetime, but then you get Joe Blow standing up there with a guitar and a gallon hat, and he's singing I'm 17.
Didn't he win The Voice a couple years ago?
Wait, he did?
Tyler
No,
Brady?
I said no. I mean
Joe
Mo Schmo.
Oh, Joe Mo Schmo. Yeah, he probably
I tried
won.
to make a joke, and neither one of y'all
He
got
was
it.
Team
It's
Blake,
fine.
and
Team Blake won it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Voice, American Idol, we see it where there have been country people who, I'm not talking about Carrie, I'm not talking about her, but there have been country singers that win these shows and they're resting on their laurels. They don't bring anything. They don't give you a fire performance, but they get by based on that country vote that's so loyal. They'll take whatever twang they can get.
Yeah.
And I was very worried that Tyler was going to win this competition.
I was too. I definitely was. But he didn't.
He did not.
He did not. And not only did he not win, but America was like, no, thank you.
We'll talk about it. Because again,
America said, no, thank you, sir.
America said, no.
No.
I'm excited to hear about it because by the time they revealed his votes, I was so stuck on the amount of votes that Alexa got. I was doing my calculations. I'm like, is it even possible for anybody else to win? I don't think so. And so I was so like distracted that I completely missed where he ended up.
Oh, we'll tell you.
We'll talk about it.
We only got one more to find out.
We got one more.
Let's feel the love.
Let's feel the love. Okay, so this is my thing. And y'all know
we're feeling the love, okay?
Okay, because see, look, I said this about Ryder Lynch. Ryder Lynch has a following that is amazing and out of this world. Like, they are loyalists. And some people, even on like Reddit and other podcasts that I have listened to, have said that Ryder Lynch's fan base have been putting bots out there and been voting in bots, and that is how he's getting America's votes, because Ryder Lynch had told people at one point all his international fans just get a US VPN or whatever address, and they can vote for him. So it's just been a lot of conspiracy theories out there happening about Ryder Lynch. But Ryder Lynch had a chokehold on America's votes. Like, big time. This entire competition. Ryder Lynch, by jury votes alone, should not have been in this final. If we were if America didn't have votes, Ryder Lynch would not make it into this final. But for some reason, they were feeling the love. And I will say this, I never hated this song. This was not one of those songs I'm like, ugh, I can't stand it. I actually liked it. It was ranked pretty high the first week when it came out. I was like, it was in my top 3. Because I was like, I felt the performance. I liked his performance. I was like, this man is giving what needs to be gave in a performance. I enjoyed the performance of it all. Is the song the best song in the world? No. Is it a timeless song for me that I'll probably be singing forever? Probably not. But he performed his butt off, and I was like, I enjoy a performance. I wanted a good performance. That's all I asked for the first week. Give me a good performance. Now, the second week, I wanted a little bit more, and he gave me a little bit more. He switched up his staging. He did, he added some stuff into there. The lights was great. He gave a little bit more. So I'm like, oh, okay, it was nice, but I don't think he gonna make it. And America said not a word of this. So this man is making it, and they pushed him right on there because he was 6th in the jury. No. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was 6th.
Which one are you talking about? The Heat
Second
or
week.
the semifinal?
Semifinal,
he was last.
Yeah, last
he was
in the jury. And they pushed him right on up there. Like,
he was a top vote getter, wasn't he?
Yeah, because America did it. The jury was like, both times he was a top vote getter.
All 3 times. So during his qualifying heat, he got 6th with the jury, and then got 2nd place overall, which based on the way people ended up because of the jury, makes me think he won the public vote in his qualifying heat. I would bet good money on that statement. Semifinal comes, he's dead last in the jury ranking and at least made 5th. We don't know where, but at least made 5th to qualify for the final. That information we don't have yet, because the week that he qualified was the one week where they were like, we're going to show the overall rankings for no reason when we haven't shown anybody else's overall rankings, but like go off, whatever. But yeah, so we'll talk about when his number popped up for the public vote. I wasn't surprised in the slightest.
Me either.
I thought the performance was good. It's a lovely way to close the show.
Yeah. Good dance ballad. Just everybody feel good and close the show. This is my thing. I said, I don't think he deserved to win based on just this performance. I felt like it was very much cheesy, lovely, hokey kind of performance, but that's with his whole performance this entire time. It's been that. I think he added some great, I liked him bringing his wife on stage. It was cute. It was a nice little moment that they had, even though somebody here wasn't paying attention to his opening and thought he was about to propose to his already wife. I was like, how is he going to propose to a woman that is his wife already? But that's okay.
It's me. Lana is calling me out on this international internet public forum.
I am. It's just, but I thought it was a cute moment. But I said, and we said it then, we were like, I don't know if he's going to win, but he got a really good chance because America, he just has a chokehold on America's vote right now. Now, is the conspiracy theorist correct that he had bots out there vote for him? Maybe. But if they did, they ain't do a good enough job tonight. But they did what needed to be done to get this man second place in the jury. I mean, in the rankings, from being last. Like,
we'll talk about the numbers because I have all the numbers crunched.
It's just crazy. It's just, like I said, I wasn't rooting for him to win. I wasn't rooting for him to win, but I felt like his performance was nice. It was fine. It was fine. It was what I expected of him from all the other performances that we got from him.
Yeah. Okay. I want to give my thoughts now.
Yes, please.
So you all mentioned there was only one song that you all would have been upset about winning, and that was 17.
Yes.
For me, there were two songs.
And it was that and this.
And this one and 17. So my journey with Riker, the very first week when he performed, I was like, okay, this sounds like it's a Kids Bop song, but he seems nice. And when he got voted through, I was disappointed. But the one silver lining for me was like, okay, well, at least we voted in a gay person and we have gay representation. And then the very next time he starts talking about his wife, and I'm like, wait, he's not gay. For some reason, I was convinced after his first performance that he was gay. And I'm like, wait a second here.
David felt duped.
I felt duped. And so I was like, okay, he needs to go. Not because he's straight, but just because his song did not hold up to every other song in the semifinals that night, in my opinion.
You're not wrong.
It was fine.
You're not wrong.
But then I saw these votes coming in. So he is another person going into this episode I was terrified of. I was so scared that he would pull off this win because I'm like, he's got a fan base for some reason that really likes this cheesy ass song and they're voting the heck out of it. So yeah, when I saw his number pop up and he bumped up to number one, I was shaking. I was immediately doing the math. I figured out, I was like, okay, so on average, the states are giving him 8.5 points out of 12. And I'm like, that's a lot. And this was the only time that I was like, shoot, I wish the jury votes were worth more than they are. Because he was last, and I was like so happy to see him last in the jury rankings. And I was just praying that somehow Alexa would pull it off because I knew she was the only hope.
So thankfully someone on Twitter did the math to see, because for Eurovision, it's 50% jury, 50% televote. And that's definitely not what this was. And we'll talk about it in a second.
Not even close.
But someone did the math. So we know what would have happened had it been 50-50. So it's different. I'll say that much. It's very different. But well, Lana's not here. I was gonna say, well, let's talk about the winner, but well, let's do let's do robbed songs while we're waiting for Lana to come back.
Okay.
Robbed songs, David Healy. What song? You talked about Florida. Mm-hmm. We know Florida.
Yeah, Florida's my number one.
I would agree.
Sure. I really love that song. I think it's so catchy. It's pop ready. It's radio ready. It could have been a hit. I was so happy to hear that. That was the last song they played, like going back from a commercial break or whatever. So I was like,
yes.
And then once again, I think Houston, I think he should have made it through. In fact, it was kind of annoying how they stacked up the semifinal groups.
Yeah.
They put so many of those jury vote winners together. Yeah. And I would have put him through over, well, definitely over Riker Lynch that week. And to put Michigan girl,
Ada Leanne.
Yeah, I might have put her through too. I thought she had a good song. I don't know. I would have to think about it, but
it's interesting to hear somebody else that actually doesn't dislike Ada Leanne, because I really like the song. Lana's not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a good country song. That's very like early Taylor Swift. I thought it was interesting.
She is Taylor Swift. Point blank and the period.
Yeah, but she thinks she's Olivia Rodrigo, apparently. That's what she said. She said she was very inspired by her. Okay.
Good for you. Good for you.
But man, I'm trying to look and see who else I thought was wrong. Oh, of course, Ryan Charles, robbed. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to kick you out of the studio and finish this thing myself, David. I can throw in some. Oh, God, yeah.
Of course, Stella Cole, Georgia, DIY. That should have been in the top 10.
That second semifinal performance just wasn't it. Honestly, it just wasn't it for me.
It's still a hit. It's such a catchy song.
Yeah.
DIY, Lana.
DIY.
I love DIY. That's another song that's on my playlist that I will listen to every day.
Yeah.
And I like the Spotify version, the uncut version better, just because I hate censored versions of songs.
Don't you get off my ass and fuck yourself?
Right. Period.
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. One more that I wanted to say as far as contestants I felt were kind of robbed and should have gone further.
Oh, that's what we're talking about, robbed.
Yes,
we were waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to talk about the winner, so we said robbed. We're going robbed first.
Go.
So my last one I want to mention is Broderick Jones for Kansas. I thought Tell Me was a hit. That's radio ready. And like I told you, I want to hear good pop songs that would work on radio today. And I felt like Broderick definitely had a good song. No, he wasn't the best at performing it live, but I don't know. I still really liked it, and it also would have been nice to have some more Black representation in our top 10.
Agreed.
I like that. Look, this is the thing. I like that song, the studio version of that song. I really do like the studio version of his song. So I'm with you with that. Live performing might not be his thing. He might not be the best at live performances. And he can get better with that. That's something.
Lip sync like a lot of people did. Well, not a lot, but there were some people who were not singing live.
There were some people, were relying on that backing track,
including one of my absolute favorites was not singing live a lot of the time, or at least had that backing, and I'm talking about Alexa. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I don't mind a backing track when you're dancing, when you're moving, and you're doing that. I understand the backing track.
And that's what he did. He put on a performance.
Right. If you're going to dance and you're going to move and you go put on a performance, I don't mind the backing track. Do it, because it's almost impossible if you're not like constantly in the gym working on your stamina and singing as you're running and working to be able to perform at peak levels when you're dancing around the stage. it takes years to get to that. Beyonce took years to get to the point where she can sing and dance on the stage at the same time and still sound like her CD for the most part. So that takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of to get it together.
Right.
I don't mind that. That's not something that's like, oh, you're a backing track. I don't care about that. If you're dancing and you're giving me a performance, if you're making me go, yes, yes, the entire time, have your backing track. But now, if you are Dale and you standing on stage and you just flat foot singing and you ain't moving, I need you to sing. I don't need no backing track. I don't need nothing. I need your background vocals to chill out a little bit so we can hear you a whole lot more than we hear them. So it's just the performance, the nature of the performance, that if the backing track is needed, then go ahead, do it. I enjoy projects. I like Tell Me. I like Tell Me a lot. Like I said, studio version, I enjoyed the song. Now, if we talking about Rob, I don't know if y'all said it, but Elizabeth Von Presley.
I was about to bring it up, yeah.
She was one of the Midwest.
She was in Iowa.
Iowa, yes. She was very good.
I was very annoyed that she did not move on to the next round. I thought she was very much robbed.
She gave pink energy.
She just exuded, like, it was just and her song is great. Like, I didn't think. And did you say Keanu Star? No, you said Keanu Star.
I was gonna say a couple of mine. Lana and I have a lot of the same ones. Elizabeth Von Presley, of course. Keanu Star for Mississippi, I thought definitely deserved better. Almira Zaki for Virginia, I think also deserved better. Ali Zabala for Florida. I've come around on that song.
Thank you.
I've come around finally. I like it. Jewel, I think, is another one that she deserved much better than she got.
I do too.
I love the story. I absolutely do. And then the last big one for me, I would be remiss to not mention Arizona. Las Marias, I think, deserved a lot better. I knew with the song that they had and the kind of performance that they had, they weren't going to win. But I wanted them to win. I love that song. I think it's in the top 15 on Spotify streams out of everybody as well, which is like really kind of cool. I'm really happy for that. But yeah, those were mine.
I just like that song. I think that was just, and like I said, I know what they said? No. Do I care? No. Yeah. Because it just made me feel good just listening to them, and their voices are so amazing. They're just I love a sister act because I am a part of a sister act when it comes to singing, and the dynamics. Like, I could tell by watching them perform that they didn't really have to know what was coming next. They just looked at each other and they knew exactly where to go. They knew when, it was just, I just enjoy sister acts, and I think they were just a really good act, and I love their performance, and they look beautiful in their flower dress. I just like them.
I did think of one more that I had kind of hoped would move on to the semifinals just because they were so different from what we were hearing from everybody else. But the Crystal Method for Nevada, the Watch Me Now, I just like the rock energy because we weren't really getting that from anybody else.
I enjoy them.
Vocals.
Enjoy them. This is the thing. We and our guest that week, Zed, shout out to Zed, we enjoyed it. And I was like, because it was, like you said, it was something different. We were not getting this in this competition. They gave us something that was the high energy. I enjoyed it. I felt, I was like, my description of this song was, this song and this performance just took me on an acid trip that I did not know I needed or wanted, but I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it. I thought it was just a good performance. And you could tell that they are professional because they gave us the quality of that performance was just so good. I thought they deserved more. I thought they would go move on. I really did. I thought they were going to move on to the next round. But
so, Logan, is there a rivalry between Arizona and Nevada? Is that an issue?
Oh no,
here?
I just didn't like the song.
Okay.
No,
just making sure.
Yeah, no, I mean the rock songs that we got, like, this is a very unpopular opinion from what I've heard. I think the best rock song of the contest was Nitro Nitra from Delaware. And I know that's, honest to God, the biggest disagreement that Lana and I have had this entire contest is with Delaware. I love the song. But I think I also have this weird, like, not jaded opinion on rock. Rock is not a genre that I love necessarily, but, like, if you look at Eurovision, last year was literally won by Måneskin. And so, like, that's the kind of rock that I enjoy. It's just a genre that I don't necessarily love. I thought the production of the Crystal Method was fantastic. I thought the whole production of it all, the staging, I thought that was lovely. The song just didn't connect in any way, shape, or form for me personally. But
yeah, no, that I was not a fan of Delaware song.
I like that one. Train.
This is
stuck on this train. Can anyone hear
no,
me?
I felt it's not the song. I didn't like her performance because I felt like she admitted that. I mean, not admitted, but she said that she was a soul singer. And I felt like this performance was a soul singer trying to sing rock music. It just didn't feel natural.
I like the fusion there. Of
I mean,
thank you.
Fusion is one thing, but when it feels like you're trying too hard to do something to fuse it together, it doesn't sound natural. Like you could sing a rock song and take a rock song and still make it sound like you. It sounded like she was trying to be somebody else to make it adaptable for America, and it just didn't feel natural for me for her singing that song. It was just like I could tell she has great vocals. That's the problem with this song for me with her. I could hear she has a great vocal range. She is very talented. She could sing her butt off, but this performance and this song seemed too forced. It just seemed like she was trying to be a rock star when she's not a rock star. But you can sing a rock song and make it rock soul and still make it yours, but it can still have that edge. I just felt like she was trying to be something she wasn't. And I didn't like the performance of it all.
Fair.
I'm looking at that first episode. There were so many good songs in that very first one because, like I said, I did like Yam House, the Ready to Go, but also I thought Jake O was really interesting. Like
I did too.
That's a song I've been listening to a lot recently. Yeah.
And then
all night long.
Fire by Keon Star.
Keon Star.
That was a good song too.
Yep.
When Lana and I got in our call today to watch together, that was the song that had come on my shuffle. And so I was like, fire. It was just like, it was a great time. I loved it. But
and even Kelsey Lamb, I was worried she would get through, but compared to the country we did get in this finale, I would have much preferred
I prefer Kelsey Lamb to Tyler Braden.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'm also a sucker for a woman in country, just for the most part. So for me, that's a whole thing. But shall we talk about the winner finally?
Who was that again?
Let's talk about this winner, because the winner of it all, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Alexa from Oklahoma. Pull this off. Alexa, stop talking.
I had to turn off my Amazon tablet because it kept going off every 5 seconds because I kept saying Alexa.
But like,
I'm gonna pull up the scores. We got to talk about these scores
because because this was crazy.
Zoom it in further, but oh no, I don't know. We're gonna see. Can I get them all in? Maybe. Michael Bolton is just cut off ever so slightly. I'm so sorry, Mr. Bolton.
Does that
make it bigger? World. Nope, that makes it worse. Great. So we'll go here. Okay, so I did the tabulations for the jury votes and the public vote, the rankings. I also looked at the math based on the number of points. Now, traditionally in Eurovision, the final vote count is 50% jury and 50% televote. In this case, doing the math, it seems as though the jury vote was about 18% of the final vote. My math could be very wrong, and if it is, someone correct me in the comments or whatever. But looking at the jury rankings, when it was all said and done with the jury presentations, which I did love, by the way, that they had artists from that region that didn't make it to the final presenting. Because for Eurovision, it's someone from the country, and 9 times out of 10, it's either a prior jury member or a prior representative of the country from a past Eurovision. So I did love seeing seeing Elizabeth Von Presley again. I was like, yes! Queen!
You were excited to see Ryan Charles again, weren't you?
Oh, just so excited. So thrilled to see that. Excuse for a man. Anyway, so by the end of the jury rankings, we had Washington in first, followed by Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Oklahoma, rounding out the top 5, and then North Dakota, Texas, Connecticut, American Samoa, and Colorado coming bottom of the jury ranking. And that's where things get a little crazy, because then Riker Lynch's public vote is revealed, and it's 478 points. And I looked at that screen and I said, oh, he's going to win. Because I was like, so on average, a winning televote number from Eurovision is somewhere around 350 points, give or take about 100. And so seeing that number, I was like, I'm sorry. Congratulations, Riker Lynch, you're the winner of the American Song Contest. Like, I truly thought that way for a second. And then we got all.
I would not be on this podcast right now if that happened.
No, you would not. But are y'all interested in the public vote rankings?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, first place in the public vote, nobody's surprised, Alexa.
Yay.
Second in the public vote, to nobody's surprise here, Colorado.
Right.
Third place, everyone else is kind of within this bubble of about 75 points or so, where they're all kind of like third through sixth or seventh, I think, is all within like 50 to 75 points of each other. Third place in the public vote was Jordan Smith.
Okay.
He came third in the jury and third in the public vote. And then guess what? Third overall. So fourth place, rightfully so, Grant Kanoki.
Yay! You got it, America.
And rounding out the top 5 from the public vote is Michael frickin' Bolton.
Okay, wow.
Wait, Michael Bolton got the...
Michael Bolton got 5th. So, Jordan Smith got 328 points. Grant Kanoki got 324. Michael Bolton got 298.
Barely beat out.
And then right behind Michael Bolton in 6th in the public vote is Tanel with 295.
Wow.
And then a little bit behind her is Alan Stone in 7th with 254.
Wow.
That's not right. I'm not saying your numbers aren't right, but that's not right, America.
No.
That's not right, America.
Yeah.
8th place, unfortunately, being Alabama.
Which is also not right.
9th place being Chloe Fredericks with 219.
Oh.
10th place in the public vote, Tyler fucking Braden, as he should be. And ending up with Tyler Braden coming in 10th.
That's crazy that bumped him all the way down to last.
Yeah. Yeah. So the overall rankings were obviously Alexa winning, Riker Lynch coming in 2nd place, Jordan Smith coming in 3rd overall, Grant Kanoki coming 4th, and Alan Stone coming 5th. With then Tanel in 6th, Michael Bolton in 7th, Nico in 8th, Chloe Fredericks in 9th, and Tyler Braden coming 10th. Now, I was curious. I didn't want to do the math myself, but thankfully, people on Twitter already did the math to see what would have happened had it been 50% jury and 50% televote.
Oh, I can tell just from looking.
What do we think? Do we think the winner would have been the same?
No.
No.
I think we would have got a repeat winner
from
Oklahoma. Different shows.
It would have been Oklahoma.
Oh, it would have. Okay.
Barely. So Alexa would have won with 173 points. Alan Stone would have come in second place with 151. And Jordan Smith still would have come third with 138.
Okay, I thought Jordan would win in this scenario.
I mean, getting third in both. Third was kind of the place he was going to end up. Tyler Braden then would have ended up fourth. Riker Lynch would have been fifth. And then Grant Kanoki and Nico actually would have tied for sixth. With Michael Bolton coming eighth. Tanel coming ninth. And Chloe Fredericks coming 10th.
I just feel like it's all crazy to me. These numbers.
I guess I like these numbers a little bit better since Alan Stone's in the top 2 now.
Right.
I simultaneously like it a lot better because then Alan Stone's in the top 2. But then I also dislike these numbers because Tanel and Chloe Fredericks are the last.
Right.
Tyler's top 4 now.
So I'll take the numbers that we got.
Right.
I'm content with those numbers that we got because everybody else in the top 5 would have been in the top 6 would have been a white man. So you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it.
Wow.
But Alexa would have won regardless of which format they used. So I guess speaking of format, to kind of close everything out, it needs work. But I thought this was a great first year for the American Song Contest. I'm very excited to see what becomes of this contest because I genuinely hope that they continue with this. And you know what? Keep Snoop and Kelly for another year.
I agree.
That was honestly probably my favorite part of watching this. Was just the enjoyment. I love the connection that has been built over these 8 weeks between Snoop and Kelly Clarkson.
They've definitely grown.
Yes. Look, this season is season 1. They had to get their footing and they had to figure it out and figure what's good. And it, like you said, throughout the 8 weeks, it's gotten better for them. And I think another season they can knock it down and they can lock it up and it'll be much smoother. I like their dynamic. Go ahead.
I want to see them. I think they need to hang out outside of the show. Build that chemistry because it was not there to start. It grew. I don't know if it grew fast enough for me. But honestly, my biggest complaint as far as those two go, and this is more on Kelly, is how if there's some sort of mishap that goes on behind the scenes or whatever, don't acknowledge it. I don't know. If something's happening behind the camera, you don't have to call it to attention. It's just taking me out of it when she's constantly like saying, oh, this was something you said this line wrong or whatever. She's constantly pointing that out. And that was distracting. I'm like, Kelly, you are the host of your own daytime show. You should be able to roll with the punches here. So I would like to see that improve in a second season if we get it, which I'm a little concerned that we might not.
I think we will. I honestly think. I
think with Alexa winning, we will.
I think it helps, but I also looked at the ratings and seeing how many viewers there were. There were not a lot of viewers for this show.
But I feel like NBC is one of those networks who has enough money that they'll keep it going because they can. And they need to let it get its footing because this is not going to be like American Idol. This is not going to be like The Voice that the first season is going to skyrocket it to, future season. This is a show that's going to have to build on people and grow. And so I feel like they will give it at least 2 or maybe 3 seasons before they decide if it's not going to work or if it's going to work. NBC does that. They did that with the song. They did with the Sing Off, which I still think is an amazing show and should still be on.
I know, it's so good.
It's so freaking good. It should still be on. They did that with Songland.
Songland they did for a few seasons,
which I still thought was a great show and still should be on.
I did too.
It should still be on. And so if they can keep America's Got Talent on for as long as they have, which I feel like it can go, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll be the network that can keep it going for at least 2 or 3 seasons before they decide to either cut it or get it, or let it keep going. So I think we're going to get another season with this one, especially because Snoop and Kelly are the executive producers. They have enough money between the two of them to help keep it along. They'll still do it. Yeah. They'll still do it. And T-Mobile is still going to back them.
And I was going to say as well, NBC still has a very good working relationship with the European Broadcasting Union. Mm. They are once again broadcasting Eurovision for the rest of this week, hosted by Johnny Weir, which I'm excited. I wasn't necessarily going to watch the American stream. I might have to watch the American stream now because I love Johnny Weir. I love me a bit of Johnny Weir, so I'm excited for that. But I think because they're airing Eurovision on Peacock again for the second year in a row, yep. I think that also really helps.
Yep.
I feel like they're trying to get American songwriter and Eurovision to do something in the future and closer, connections. I think they're trying to build that relationship between America's song and Eurovision.
I just thought about the prospect of Alexa representing the US at Eurovision, and it made me almost cry. Because, she would win. Point blank and the period, Alexa would win Eurovision. That's just a fact. But no, I definitely thought, as someone who had reservations coming into this because of how much I love Eurovision, I am very pleasantly surprised with mostly the songs. That's really what I care about at the end of the day. And the music was, for the most part, really good. And these people just seem like good people. So at the end of the day, I'm going to call it a success, whether the ratings were there or not.
I agree. I enjoyed the song.
I definitely enjoyed watching it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
One thing I'm going to keep my eye on, definitely the next few weeks, is I already religiously look at top 40 radio charts. I look at those every day to see what's new, what's going up on radio. I'm going to be watching Alexa to see how well she does. She's got an advantage because iHeartRadio's everywhere, and they said they're going to play the winner song.
Yeah.
In heavy rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it worked out very well that we got a winner who has that viability to actually have a hit. I don't know how big of a hit it will be, but I could see it at least making top 20 on pop radio.
With the American K-pop fans that we have, I wouldn't be surprised if she does. I will also say it was announced she will be performing at the Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that is going to see. This is what I'm talking about, and this is why I feel like this is a good show and a good network to have this show on, because the Billboard Awards to go be on NBC. This show just ended. Billboard Awards is Sunday. She's gonna do it Sunday. This is going to give her an opportunity to show everybody who has not watched America's Song Contest why she's the winner of America's Song Contest. All she got to do is perform it like she did tonight and like she did the first night and just kill it. That's going to bring in a whole new audience. What is this American Song Contest about? What is this about? This is going to give them an opportunity to bring in more people who didn't watch this season. And then, of course, all the other shows on NBC that she can cross,
I want Alexa as the overall coach for the knockout rounds of The Voice next season.
She might come on and do a performance on The Voice. I mean, George Smith was on The Voice, and now he's on Song Contest.
Måneskin performed on The Voice last season.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
This is why I'm saying Eurovision and Peacock and NBC are trying to build up a relationship to try to maybe form some things with the Eurovision fans and with American fans to bridge that gap. And so I can see Alexa being someone else like Måneskin, who already has a huge backing with in South Korea. She already has fans in South Korea. So she can pull in the South Korean audience. She can go over and maybe represent America in a Eurovision contest.
I don't think that would ever happen. But
you don't know. You don't know. Because business is business. Money is money. Money will change all kind of rules about some stuff. And if NBC throw enough money to Eurovision,
I was going to say, if the U.S. were to join the European Broadcasting Union, that it would be confirmed. But I think now that we have this whole other separate situation with the American Song Contest, I don't necessarily see it happening. But if it does, hey, that'd be kind of cool. There's a couple other countries I'd rather see over the U.S. compete in the American Song Contest or in Eurovision, I'll be very honest. But
what it could be a different whole thing. It don't even have to be Eurovision. It could be a world competition that they go put together where people from everything do that. They
tried that. Europe, the EBU tried that about 20 years ago, and it didn't work. Not saying it wouldn't now, but they've tried. They tried Eurovision Asia. They tried Eurovision Africa. I think they tried Eurovision South America. I know Asia and Africa were two that happened, but the other thing I want now, if they do next year, I want Snoop and Kelly with Alexa in the green room. That's what I want.
Okay. Are there any format changes you would do with the second season?
A lot more transparency as to how the fuck this is happening, because we were confused every single week as to what jury votes mattered, but also our votes mattered. Like, it's just transparency as a whole. And I understand a lot of this is probably because they were doing this on the fly and reacting to the public perception, which is why I still believe we got wild cards in the first place, because I think people were so pissed off that 56-20 with no other opportunity to like get another shot to come in. I truly think public perception and the public opinion is why the wild card happened in the first place, and I appreciate that. But I think for me, just overall transparency in the process is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, what I think they need to do differently this next season is every song needs to be out on streaming the first week. Put everybody's song out at the same time so everybody can have the same amount of vote. If you're going to do a wild card like they did, you have to give everybody the same amount of time to listen to all these songs. Because if I'm only getting week 5s in week 5, the people in week 1 has an upper advantage because we've been listening to their songs since week 1. But we only listen to week 5 and week 5, and then it's the wild card announcement. That's not fair for the people who were put in week 5 or 4.
And the fact that Ryan Charles was announced as a wild card before week 5's performances even happened. That's where I got that as well. But what about you, David? What would you change?
So, first of all, I have a question. With Eurovision, they just perform a song once, right?
No. So Eurovision is a little bit different, where countries can either choose to do an internal selection, meaning that whatever their NBC is in their country chooses the artist, chooses a song, whatever. There's also countries that do a national selection where the broadcaster says, hey, submit these songs, we're going to pick however many, and then a combination of a jury and public vote will choose the song. From there, once every country has the song that they're going to represent with, all of the countries, with the exception of the Big Five, which is sometimes 6, the Big Five consists of France, Germany, Spain, the UK, and Italy, because they are the 5 countries that give the most money to the EBU. Is just the way it happens. Those 5 countries automatically qualify for the final every single year.
Oh, weird.
They give the most money. It's not the best process, but whatever. And then if the host country for the year, so the country that won the previous year, then it becomes the host for the next year. Which I'm like, are we going to get American Song Contest next year hosted in like Tulsa, Oklahoma? I'd rather not. Anyway.
Home of Alexa?
Home of Alexa, yes. If the host country is not part of the Big Five, so say if, I don't know, Austria. If Austria won the year before, then Austria also automatically qualifies. But last year it was Italy, so Italy's already in it, so whatever. All of the other 35 countries that compete in 2 different semifinals, very similar to the way that the semifinals happened for the American Song Contest. So they perform that once, juries and public vote, and then from there, 10 of the songs from each semifinal then move on to the final, and the final is 25, sometimes 26 songs. So to answer your question, some of them only get to perform once, because if they don't qualify, it's only one performance. If they qualify to the final, they then perform twice.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. That's a long-winded way to explain it, but it's kind of the only real way to explain it. And then for the big five, they only perform once.
Okay. So that makes sense. So it's the main event, it's only once. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the qualifying heats, for me as a Eurovision fan, the whole qualifying system felt like the national selection process in a way. Like we're taking this big group of songs, in this case from a bunch of different states, but normally it's like if it's from within one country if they choose to do a national selection. It kind of felt as though like that kind of mimicked the national selection, within the semifinal being a lot more pared down than I had expected it to. But yeah, so.
Okay. Well, okay. So with that in mind, I did tell a few friends about the show, and they were all kind of confused by the fact that it was the same song being performed each time. They were like, wait, so they move on and then they do the same song?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, it's the song is what's being judged.
It's not the American Artist Contest.
Right.
It's the American Song Contest.
So my idea of what I would do for a second season, first round, do it just like we saw. Same type of stage, same type of performance. But then once you get to the semifinals, put them in a big stadium. Put them with a huge crowd. Let's see how they perform that same song, but with a big audience there, and how they feed off the audience. Then the finals, have them come out and introduce their music video. Give us a music video for 10 songs. That way we're not seeing the exact same thing over and over again. So,
switch it around. I like that, but switch it around. Do the first one like they do. The second one, give us the music video. And the finals, give us the grand stadium.
I'd be cool either way. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I did think about it that way, but then you're cranking out 22 music videos. That's a big commitment.
NBC has the money.
NBC got the money to do
That's true. But
well, and half the artists in this contest produce their own music video.
I know. I saw Alexa music video.
Alexa has her own. Ada Leanne did her own. I think Alexis Cunningham did her own.
Okay.
So a lot of the artists do, but
I agree with you. I agree with you too.
Yeah, just something think about to shake it up to not be the exact. Because I mean, Alexa didn't give us the same thing each week, but most of them did.
I think it's also like Alexa and like a few of these artists understand what Eurovision is. Like, I think the big thing is like Alexa understood, and the other person that I think really understood that was Anissa from New York, because she even said she's a huge Eurovision fan, so she understands that like things have to change a little bit, and they do from time to time with Eurovision, but. But I think that's a great idea, honestly.
Well, thank you.
I think so. I see what you're saying. 22 music videos would be a lot. But if they still break it up in 2 heats, then it won't be as much to do. You know, and I don't know.
And also it would be kind of hard for the people who are in that last qualifying group to have to turn around and make a music video like right away.
Well, and that's why the majority of the week 5 qualifiers were in the second semifinal for that reason. The only one that wasn't was Ada Leanne, because she knew for sure she was going to be in the semifinals, which is why they put her in semifinal 1.
I think everybody coming in should have a music video prepared. This is your song. This is the song that you're going to be performing this whole time. So if you make it to the semifinals, then your video is shown. If you don't make it, then you just have a video for your song, period.
Right.
So that's a good thing for you. But I feel like everybody coming in, they should be prepared for a video and have a video concept that they could do on the fly even. Because like music videos don't have to be, you know, Michael Jackson level videos. You don't have to have $7 million videos. You can take your iPhone and shoot a video at the park, and it can still come out really great if you do it right. So I think everybody coming in should have a video prepared or ready to go. And that way, but I do like that idea. I do think we need something to break up just seeing the same performances every week or every 2 weeks or whatever.
They should hire me on as a producer for this.
I agree.
think all of us should get hired on.
Yes.
Personally, I'm here for it. I will say the other thing, and then we can wrap up because we've been here for 2 hours.
After we said an hour.
After we said an hour, but it's whatever. We all ramble. I think the other thing I would change is expanding the number of people that qualify from the first round to the second. I think if we did 4 heats of 14 for qualifying, which is an even number that equals 56, we then avoid the one heat has 12, so they're automatically at a bigger disadvantage because they're fighting a little bit harder. But I think if you did 4 heats of 14 to start, 3 semifinals with maybe 5 or 6 songs qualifying from each heat into the semifinals, and then maybe make the final 15. I don't know. There are just a lot of songs that I think got swept under the rug that I really think could have moved on to either the semifinals or even further to the finals. I know the one that we continue to talk about a lot, California, I think deserved a spot in the final. And I think if it had been an expanded format, I think California probably was 6th in that semifinal. I would bet good money they were 6th. So I just think allowing more people to perform more, I think would also be a really cool thing. You can do 14 songs in under 2 hours. That's they do it all the time on American Idol.
They did 20 in under 2 hours.
Right.
Exactly. You can do more than 11 or 12 in a 2-hour span. It just has to be a little bit tighter production.
I mean,
you can do it.
They could have do it. They could have did it this time if they didn't have Halftime Reports and Professor Snoops. And I'm just saying, and behind the scenes Kelly talking to the. It didn't have to all that is cute, but it didn't have to happen. So if they would have cut all that out, you have 14 a chance to do 14 performances.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Is it you? Is it me?
Is it me? Is it me? I love it.
I love that. Is it you? Is it me?
I don't know. I don't know.
That was one of my favorite moments.
I'm just stating the facts.
I'm just stating the facts. So
I'll be honest, I normally fast forwarded through all of them.
I never did.
You missed out on so many facts.
I know, it's fine. None of them were about Arizona. I didn't care.
You missed Arizona when they told them today. You walked away.
I know.
Whatever.
Would you all want to see more or less like established famous artists? Because we saw quite a few.
We saw 4. Well,
5 if you count. I count Alan Stone.
I count Alan Stone. If you count Alan Stone, then 5.
Alan Stone, Cisco, Macy Gray, Michael Bolton, Jewel.
And Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't.
Go ahead.
You know what? I don't. It didn't take away, but it didn't add. Like, if we see Michael Bolton was the only person who was somebody who won Grammys and was up there who made it. I mean, Alan Stone, but I don't feel like Alan Stone is on the same level as Michael Bolton.
The 4 big names they promoted at the start of episode 1 were Macy Gray, Cisco, Jewel, and Michael Bolton.
Right. Yeah, because Alan Stone is not. They're all Grammy-winning artists. Alan Stone is not there yet.
He was nominated.
He was nominated, but some of them are Grammy-winning. Most of them are Grammy-winning.
I think it would honestly depend on who it is. Honestly, because I came into this and I was like, oh, I love Jewel, great. Love Macy Gray, cool. Cisco, song, whatever. Michael Bolton, it's Michael frickin' Bolton. Whatever.
Incomplete is a good song.
I'm about to say Incomplete is a great song. Let's don't sleep on Cisco like he ain't had no great song.
They didn't even mention Pony.
That's not Cisco. That's Genuine.
Drew Hill.
That's not Drew Hill. That's Genuine.
You're right.
Even I know that. I don't listen to a lot of rap, but I knew that.
That's not rap. That's R&B.
Okay, edit this out. No,
everything's saying it.
This is live.
Yeah, no, I think it would depend on who it is. Like, if it's someone like, if Beyonce is on, then I'm gonna be like, no, Beyonce, I don't need you here. But if it's people of the same sort of like, I guess caliber is the right word, even though I don't like using that word, but like the same like level as like a Jewel or a Michael Bolton who are like, I'm established, I took a little bit of time off, you know what, I'm gonna throw my hat back in the ring for something. It's very much so like artists that I have seen on like The Masked Singer, for example, I'd love to see back. Like that'd be cool.
It was interesting to see Jewel going from dominating Masked
The
Singer,
Masked Singer
just in December,
not even qualifying.
Yeah,
I was upset.
That's
like
real
honestly,
shit, though.
Leanne Rimes. Let Leanne Rimes represent whatever state she's from. I'm here for it.
I feel like if the artist is somebody who, like you said, has established themselves, taken a break, and want to put out new music, but don't want to do it their traditional way of just going to their record label, putting out the song, and it gives them a sense of, would the public like this song? It gives them a sense of, would the public even care about this song?
Yeah,
it might be a start to what is to come for their next album. So they're putting out feelers. It's a way to put out a feeler. Like, okay, is this a song that the radio people want to listen to later on? Do I need to change up my style that I'm trying to go into the studio with? So I wouldn't mind it if they're not, like you say, if Beyonce is on there, I'm like, girl, you don't need to be here. So let's not do that. But like Kelly Rowland, for instance, could turn around and do it, and I wouldn't be mad at it, because I feel like she would need a little bump in her music wise, because like career wise, she's great doing the voice over in the UK and all that stuff, and doing movies or whatever like she's doing. But musically, she could use a little bump. So it's like this will be a reason to give her a little bump up in music again. So I didn't mind it, because I thought the songs that each of them put out were decent songs. Like I like Jewel's song a lot. I like Michael Bolton's song. Cisco's song was okay. I mean, he gave me what I expected from Cisco. Yeah. And that's the thing. Cisco gave us what this song would have been hot in 2000.
Yeah.
Because that's when Cisco was hot. Now, but in 2022, it ain't the hottest song no more. And Cisco learned that he needed to switch up his style a little bit more. So that's what he learned from this competition. Macy Gray learned that she can't come out here and give us mediocre performance, even though the song was a good song.
It's a great song in the studio.
Great studio
she
song.
Seemed like a featured artist on that, basically.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
She just learned that that's not what people want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to do better.
Honestly, if one of the guys from like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys wanted to be on this too, like that, I'm on board.
Write a good song, put it out there, perfect for me. If JC Chazé wrote a good song and came out there and performed that song, and it was a good song, I will be all about it. But if he came out there and performed a mediocre song, I will just say, nah, boo. As much as I adore you and love you, it's just not good.
Yeah. I'm glad that they weren't like automatic locks to move on.
Agreed.
Right.
That would have been annoying.
Yes.
I really appreciated that everyone was on an equal playing field.
I was worried after Michael Bolton. I mean, he did do well, but he was the first celebrity and he got through. So it was like, is this how it's going to be?
Yeah.
I thought Jewel should have got through, honestly.
I do too.
I didn't.
I still love that song.
It didn't leave an impression for me.
I enjoyed the song, and then she gave me the key change, and I was like, yes, okay.
This is for everybody who's been feeling down. I was just like, yes, Jewel, I love you.
I just love Jewel, but yeah. I just think they need, if they want to bring back celebrities, they just need to be at a certain place in their life, be established, but be at a place where they could still grow.
Or the other perfect thing is like, hell, it's NBC. Bring back some winners of The Voice, like Jordan Smith.
Bring back some people who didn't win The Voice, who were robbed off The Voice.
I think of Katie Caden. Katie Caden would slay the hell out of this competition.
But we need original songs, because this is still original songs contest.
How about the girl that sings "Never Enough" from The Greatest Showman?
Lauren Allred. I would love that.
And she was
great
on The Voice.
She just got a golden buzzer on America's Got Talent.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. singing Never Enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she went on and she's like, nobody knows what I look like, so I'm just going to sing this song. Oh, by the way, it's my song. By the way, I am the Lauren Allred. And I was like, that's yes, girl. Work.
But yeah, it's a lot. But overall, I think this season was a good season. We had some really great songs.
I had fun.
I had fun covering this. We had some really good songs come from this. I think songs that will be on my playlist personally for a long time that I'll listen to and be happy to listen to them. Hopefully, we'll get another season where we'll get equally as many or maybe even more great songs that we can listen to and add to our repertoire. Because music is life. Music gives so much joy and takes you on journeys that you never even knew you needed or wanted to take at times, but it's still so good. So I love getting new music. That's why I enjoyed this competition. And I was skeptical too, coming in like, I don't know.
I'll bring it up again. The last show I recommended to Lana was Queen of the Universe, for reference.
Oh. And that was horrible.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to give this one a shot, Lana, please. This is one I feel passionately about. And
I was worried you all were about to be like, that show was amazing.
No.
No. No, absolutely.
I watched one episode and was like, never again will I listen to Logan tell me what to watch ever again.
Well, you know what? You watched the American Song Contest, so...
Yes. It's a balance. Right now, you're 50-50 at what you do.
Now I have to get you both to watch the final of Eurovision on Saturday.
Maybe
that's where I'm... And speaking of Eurovision, I have to plug us because we're going to be live 3 days this week. So we are going to be live. Our Eurovision crew all across the world, literally all across the world, will be live. We'll be live tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, right after semifinal 1, which is also my birthday. So I'm very excited about it. So join us for that tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern. Join us on Thursday for the aftermath of semifinal 2, same time at 5:30 Eastern. And then the grand final of Eurovision 2022, we will be live Saturday at 6:30 Eastern-ish, depending on how long the show runs. We'll be live shortly after the grand final of Eurovision, and we'll have a winner, and we'll know where we're headed next year. So... And I'm going to hopefully get you both to watch the Eurovision final and then join us on Saturday, because I really think, based on how y'all have felt about the American Song Contest, I really think y'all would love Eurovision. So we're going to hope and pray.
See, me and David, we are not Eurovision people, so we've never watched Eurovision. So Logan's very much trying to get me to watch it. Now you, David, because you're here. So I don't know. I've never committed to it, but we'll see.
I'm more curious than I've ever been.
Right. Yay. I think I'm more curious than I was simply because of American Song Contest.
I'll say, like, the first 2 semifinals are also going to be available on Peacock and I think somewhere else on NBC. So, like, y'all could watch those hypothetically before Saturday and be like, do I like this? I'm gonna be real honest. The hosting of Eurovision this year probably going to be a mess. Just going to be honest, based on what we've seen, probably going to be a mess. The songs, though, are great overall. So,
but I will say what we are going to do, because we talked about it, and I'm going to just invite my husband to do it with us. We are going to rank these 56 songs from American Song Contest and see how they stack up in our overall rankings. When that show is going to come out, we're not sure. We'll let you know
this week.
After Eurovision is over, we're going to let Logan handle Eurovision and get some rest in his birthday. We're going to let him celebrate. But after this week, and after we all take some time to literally go over the songs, because we might want to listen to them all again and figure it out. But after we get over, everything, and we take some time to listen, we're going to rank all 56 songs from American Song Contest. I'm interested in seeing where everybody's rankings fall. Everybody already know each other's number 1 song so far, because that's just what, we can't stop talking about them. But yeah,
Washington, North Dakota, Texas.
Number ones are already done.
We'll when we do
We'll
the
start
video,
from number
Three great
one
songs.
on down.
Three that would be in the top 10.
We'll
no
just
matter
do
what.
number 1 and then drop down to 56 and be like, we'll just start from there and
Right, and we'll figure and see who.
Or are we
we'll see-
combining them to see like our combined ranking?
I was gonna do some sort of point system. I'm not really
Okay.
sure what,
like
but
that.
some sort of like probably not like just 12, 10, 8, the way that Eurovision does it, which I appreciated they did it on here as well. Didn't know how that was gonna work. Really appreciated it. It'll probably be like an expanded like top 15 or top 20 get points because of just how many songs there are. But yeah, there'll be some sort of point system, and I'll do point tallying on the fly because sure.
You point people and math people. It's just a lot. I don't care.
I'm not even a math person.
My
I'm
rankings are
good at
going to be
math.
1 through 56, and y'all can tabulate y'all points all you
Well,
want.
that's all I'm asking from y'all. I'll do all the converting of the points. Don't worry about that. It'll be real easy because there's only 3 of us. So it'll be like 1 point, boom, 2 point. Like that'll be easy. But
Okay, I'm down. I'll work on my list soon.
yeah.
Well, yes, so that's what we'll do. We'll work on our list, and once everybody knows their list, we'll have some communication that all our lists are complete. Now, Logan, we can't do this ranking like we do our other rankings. We cannot switch our rankings up once we start the show. Once we lock it in, it got to stay locked in. And I'm talking to me just as much as I'm talking to you.
I know you are. I think upon reflection, once everything's settled down a little bit, I'll have a better idea of where everything lines up. But yeah, no, totally.
Because we do rankings every week. And I sit here with my phone. Logan sits there with his whiteboard, and we're talking.
It changes.
And it changes
all the time.
Throughout the entire show. It's like, oh, let me switch. But this time, once I lock it in, I'm going to stick to my guts, and I'm going to lock it in, and I'm not going to change it.
Okay. And we're just ranking the song, not like visual performance.
Not performances. I would rather just stick to studio performance.
Because I could just hear it on Spotify.
Right. Yeah, just studio versions of these songs, because that's what we're going to listen to on the radio. Everything is not about the performance. This is about the radio's whatever. So I would rather do it strictly on studio performance.
Okay. I'm down.
Cool.
Awesome.
So there we go, y'all.
Well,
y'all be on the lookout for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, David, thank you so much for joining us. Very last minute impromptu, but we appreciate it.
I'm glad I finally had somebody to talk to about the show, because I've been in my own little bubble this whole time.
Anytime you need to talk about any of the shows you watch, because I know you watch all the drag like I do, and all the things, come back and visit us anytime. We'll be here.
Okay.
We talk about everything. Any reality show.
Literally everything.
Oh, I watched so much. Domino Masters, just watched that.
I wanted to watch that. Oh my God, I have not.
The finale's this week, I think.
I'm gonna binge it. I'm binging it.
If y'all want to do Domino Masters, feel free. I don't have the time, but feel free. Cool work.
Lego Masters starts soon.
No,
I love Lego Masters.
No,
don't hate on Lego Masters.
No, I don't hate on Lego Masters because some of the things they create are glorious and amazing. I hate Will Arnett with every fiber of my being, and I cannot watch the show anymore.
Funny. He's so funny as well.
You don't have to watch it, Logan. But if
I've watched the other 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. It's not like I haven't watched them. I love Lego
Masters.
Legendary?
I just love Legos, and I like
Legendary. Absolutely, we are covering Legendary, so don't worry.
What's Legendary? Oh yeah, you talked about Legendary
on HBO Max.
Oh, you got to watch it long.
I don't have HBO Max #1, and
we will figure out a way to get you to watch Legendary.
All right, we'll figure it out. But whatever. Yes. It's just a lot that we cover. So and Big Brother's going to come back in July.
I was going to say, after this week, we're kind of in our lull period, which I really appreciate.
Yes,
for like a few weeks. For like a few weeks. And
we love a lull period. Because once Big Brother start, it's over for us. Live feeds, all that.
Big Brother.
But okay.
Although next week, Legendary starts with 3 episodes, and Drag Race with 2 episodes and 2
the Circle with
and we still have episodes. 4 more episodes. We still have not done Circle yet. So,
but yet it is still technically our down period.
It's very spicy.
Yeah, the Circle is interesting. I have
not watched, but it's very spicy because I saw Spice Girls. Yeah.
Yes.
Spice up your life.
With that, thank you all so much for joining us for almost 2.5 hours of nonsense and foolishness, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Make sure to subscribe, like, share on your way out. Follow us on Twitter at @thecup_reality for all of the most up-to-date Cup news. Yes, I posted a schedule today as well.
Yes, you did.
I did it today.
Yes, you did.
Follow all of us. Follow David because he's just a beautiful human. Like, look at
just a beautiful human being. I mean, look, that's why I married him. He's a beautiful soul. Come on,
love you, Lucky. And Logan.
and with thanks, I appreciate it. Wow, it was my idea to bring you on here. By the way, David Healy.
I mean,
Lana may have asked, but
I didn't see the tweet first. So I'm sorry, Logan saw your tweet first, but. I asked because I knew my husband would not turn me down and come on the show.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Woo.
Woo.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
It's time to go.
See you.
Peace
Please
out.
Leave.
Bye.
Bye.
Go.